Recently, I binged watched the Kung Fu Panda trilogy because I wanted to, and you guys couldn't stop. I did what I wanted to do with my time. So I came up with the brilliant idea to make a comparison video of all three of these Kung Fu Panda movies. Now for starters, I'm going to separate these movies and distinctions into three separate categories. First category is the plot. So what is the main goal of the movie? What are the characters' goals? And what are the villains' goals? Category number 2, characters. Now this could be the new characters that are introduced in that specific movie, or how some of the older characters have changed over time. And last, we have category number 3, being voice acting. Now this is which voice actors are in each movie, how good of a voice acting job they did in each program, and the new voice actors that show up in movies down the line. Now without further delays, let's get started with Kung Fu Panda 1. Now starting with Kung Fu Panda 1 and Category 1, the plot. The plot of Kung Fu Panda 1 is pretty simple. Po's just a regular person working at a noodle store, and then he becomes the Dragon Warrior out of what everyone thinks is a complete freak accident, except for Master Oogway, because there are no accidents.
There are no accidents.
And with Po's newfound purpose, he is now tasked with learning Kung Fu and taking down Tai Lung, who is on a streak to try and get the Dragon Scroll, because the Dragon Scroll is thought to have all of the secrets to becoming the Dragon Warrior. Plot score for Kung Fu Panda 1. The plot, I will give a score of 8 out of 10. I like the plot of this movie, though there are some flaws, but overall I think it's a very good, very solid plot. And we will talk about Tai Lung and all the characters later. But for now, we are going to be going on to Kung Fu Panda Part 2 and talking about the plot of that movie. Kung Fu Panda 2's plot revolves around Po. He now knows Kung Fu very well. He now knows how to do Kung Fu and everything about it. And the movie primarily centers around him trying to kill, or not really kill, just sort of deal with a peacock that is looking to take over China for himself. One great thing you get to learn about this plot is you get to learn where Po comes from, sort of. You get to learn that he was not born from a goose. His dad was not literally a goose. You learn that he was adopted, and you learn Po's entire backstory pretty much, except for exactly where he comes from. We'll get to that later. Another thing about this is that this movie and the next movie both bring something new to the table, like some sort of new move. This movie brings in inner peace. You need to find your inner peace to become you, to really become you. And then the third movie introduces Chi, which is your inner spirit and power level. That's all I'm gonna say for the second movie, because that's really all I want to say for the second movie, because the second movie is not my favorite. The plot score I'm going to give for Kung Fu Panda 2, I'm going to give either a 5 or a 6, something around there. The plot of the second movie is definitely not the best, and there are a lot of things you could say about it that aren't good, but there's also a few good things you could say about it as well. Now for the plot of Kung Fu Panda 3. The plot of Kung Fu Panda 3 centers around Po finding another panda in the valley who breaks his dumpling eating record, and then finding out that that panda he runs into is his dad and doesn't even know. But mainly The main plot is that the villain by the name of Kai, who's this big ox-looking monster who has these really cool like chain blades, and he breaks out of the spirit realm. And the spirit realm is, he didn't like it there. We'll just say that. But his main goal is to kill and take every master's chi in the valley so that he could basically take all the power for himself and become the most powerful being in the valley. That's all I will say about the plot of Kung Fu Panda 3, because we gotta get rolling here, man. We're already like 6 minutes in. Plot score. The plot score I'm going to give this movie is probably an 8 or a 9, because I really like the plot of this movie. Now on to category number 2, characters. The first Kung Fu Panda movies characters consist of Po, Tigress, just the regular Furious 5, and you have Shifu, Oogway, and then your villains like Tai Lung. Now, of course, there are more characters than that, but those are the only ones I'm really going to mention, because all the other characters are more like side characters and plot devices and stuff like that. I'm going to give the characters in this movie a very solid 9 out of 10. The characters in this movie are top tier, incredible. Great character. Kung Fu Panda 2 characters. These characters consist basically of the same core group. You have the 5, you have Shifu, you have those characters, but Oogway is gone and Tai Lung is gone, of course. But then you have Master Shen, which I believe is the peacock, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that is his name. And then you have some other side characters like Master Croc and Master Rhino, I believe. Let's get another one on the outfit changer, or the outfit counter. Bang, 1. Kung Fu Panda 2 character rating. Now, I'm not going to give this an overly high rating. I'm probably going to give this 6 for the characters, because the 5 just feel really out of place and different, and Shifu's barely in the movie, and Croc and Rhino they're like side characters at best. Shen is good, I like Shen, and Oogway's not even in it, which really upsets me. Kung Fu Panda 3 characters. The characters in Kung Fu Panda 3 once again consist of the same core of the 5 and Shifu, and Oogway actually has a part in this movie. Who would have thought? But of course you have your new characters like Kai, which is the main villain, and I really enjoy Kai in this movie. Lee, who is Po's real dad. And there's a few other pandas that I don't remember the name of, but we'll leave them out of here. Then, of course, there are side characters like Master Chicken. Master Chicken is in this, and yeah, that's character score in this movie, 10 out of 10. Absolute 10 out of 10 for the characters in this movie. Kai is a very good villain. He has motives and what he wants to do. Oogway makes an appearance and has his purpose in the movie. All the regular characters have their purpose, and there is no flaw with the characters in Kung Fu Panda 3. Now for the last and final, mean the same thing, yeah, but now for the last category, voice acting. This might be my favorite category because I really love some of the voice actors in this movies. This is a movie franchise that you forget about how many good voice actors are in it, because there are some real bangers out there. Starting it off with Kung Fu Panda 1, with voice actors like Jack Black, Dustin Hoffman, Ian McShane, Jackie Chan, a lot, James Hong, Angelina Jolie, Seth Rogen, David Cross, Bryan Cranston. Well, we'll get to him later. yeah. Randall Duck Kim, there's a lot of very good voice actors. Kung Fu Panda 1 voice acting is very good. Very incredible voice acting job, in my opinion. I love it. I would give this voice acting probably a 9 out of 10. It's very good, very enjoyable. Now, Kung Fu Panda 2 voice acting is still consisting of the same group with a few people that aren't there. But this same people, you know, Jack Black, Angelina Jolie, all of them. But this adds Gary Oldman as Lord Shen and Annie McBride as the wolf. Kung Fu Panda 2 voice acting rating. I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. You know, it has the same core group of voice actors, and there's no real bad voice acting. It's just like, it could have been better. You know what I mean? Now, Kung Fu Panda 3 voice acting. It obviously consists of the same core group of people, you know, the 5 and all of them. And then there are a few additions in this that I am really excited about and have been waiting the entire video to say. Now, number 1, Bryan Cranston. You know, I love Bryan Cranston. You know, he's cool. Yeah, he's cool. And then arguably my favorite actor of all time, J.K. Simmons. The Mad Lad is back in here in Kung Fu Panda 3 as Kai. And he just does a stellar, incredible job. Now, Kung Fu Panda 3 voice acting score, again, I gotta give it a 10 out of 10. It is perfect. There is nothing wrong with the voice acting in this movie. It's incredible. Bryan Cranston, J.K. Simmons, just stellar job, guys. Stellar job. Now, how I'm going to rank these movies is I am going to add up the scores that I got from the number ratings that I gave, and then I'm going to add those up and get the final score and put them in the correct order. Now, rounding us out at the bottom, you know, you saw this coming right from the start. It's Kung Fu Panda 2. Kung Fu Panda 2, I believe, is objectively the weakest Kung Fu Panda movie by a country mile. It is objectively not very great, to be completely honest. It's very forgettable, in my opinion, other than a few scenes, but even then, like, who's gonna... I don't know, man. I just think it's forgettable and easily the worst Kung Fu Panda movie out there. Then at number 2, we have Kung Fu Panda 1. I know a lot of people might kill me for saying that, but I just think that the next one is just a better movie, to be honest. Now, I'm not saying that the first Kung Fu Panda movie is bad. I, in fact, love the first Kung Fu Panda movie. From the bottom of my heart, I love that movie. But I just think that the other movie brings more to the table when it comes to action and characters and plot. Now, at number 1, coming in as my favorite Kung Fu Panda movie, I have Kung Fu Panda 3, because the voice acting in this movie is top tier, incredible, characters top tier, incredible, plot top tier, incredible. Everything that this movie brings to the table is out of this world great. Now, I'm not just saying that this is an incredible kids movie. I'm saying this is just an immaculate just movie. Now that's gonna do it here today, folks. Now, please don't start the World War III in the comment section over my opinion. I know you guys won't do that. You guys are too chill to do that. But if you liked it, press the like button. If you didn't like it, press dislike right now. I can't control you. This is America. See ya. Peace. Make a change.
There are no accidents.